I want to thank you all for joining me. I am Amy Lee, certified professional pet groomer since 2003, and we are live from the grooming table, literally live from the grooming table, and I have some amazing things to share with you tonight that are very valuable and going to help you groom your dogs better. Things that maybe you just don't know, and I'm going to help you. I'm going to show you how to professionally fine-tune your dog grooming shears so they work properly for you. These puppies need attention. Did you know that? They do. All shears, all dog grooming shears need attention. So I've prepared an awesome live stream right here for you tonight that we are going to teach you valuable things about your pet grooming shears, how to make your dog grooming scissors cut like new. Your dog grooming shears should always cut like new, and when they don't, I'm going to tell you what to do. And you'll know when they don't because they'll just fold the hair. They won't cut it properly. Before I get started with this lesson today, I want to thank all of you for being here. I'm so glad to see you. I'm so happy that you show up for me, but more importantly, for pets. For the pets that you groom, you show up so that you can provide quality, compassionate pet grooming and take advice from a professional on where to get products, tools, equipment, all those things that make your grooms professional. And if you're grooming any dog, you need to have professional results for both you and the pet, for safety and for the right results that you're seeking. So that's what we do. All right, we've already established that years ago, right? We know what we're doing here. So let's talk about this. There are only 3 things that you're gonna need to do for your dog grooming shears. Your dog grooming shears are your scissors. Some people call them shears, most professionals, and some people call them scissors, but they are a scissor and they are a shear. They're the same thing. So that's what we're talking about today. And of course we know there are such things as blending shears, chunker shears, straight shears, curved shears. I got them all. I've got so much stuff sitting here tonight ready to show you how to take care of these things, okay? So there are really only 3 things that you need to do for your dog grooming shears to keep them performing best for you. And in this video, I'm going to walk you through these steps and teach you what you may be doing wrong when it comes to caring for your dog grooming shears, or what you may be doing right. So we're going to settle that score tonight, right? Those 3 things that you need to do for these shears are you need to clean them, you need to oil them, and you need to adjust them. And that's about it. Occasionally we need to send them for sharpening. I got you covered there. So if you're not doing these things, cleaning, oiling, and adjusting your shears, and what does that mean? Don't worry, I got you covered. I got that packed in here for you. So if you're not doing these 3 things for your shears regularly, you could be possibly damaging or compromising your shears, and it will happen. So after I show you how to clean, oil, and adjust your dog grooming shear tonight, this guy, I almost cut my hair. I'm going to teach you how to test your shear to see if it's sharp or if it needs to be sharpened. This is valuable. Okay, this is an easy test. I'm going to show you how to do it, guys, so just stay put. So how do we know when our shears need to be sharpened or adjusted? I'm going to show you that tonight. What does it mean to adjust your shear? I'm going to show you that tonight, no worries. How do we clean these dog grooming shears? I'm going to show you tonight. I got it all here. I'm going to show you. Personally, I'm going to show you on these shears. When we use our dog grooming shears, oils from hair, grime from the coat, all these things from the dog's coat, they start to build up on the blades of our shears, on the blades. So it's important to clean them, and it must be cleaned after every use, or that buildup can quickly dull your shears or affect the way that they're cutting the hair. So this could be happening to you guys. You guys may be experiencing this and you think, well, last time I groomed my dog, everything went great, and now my shears just seem to not be behaving for me. Well, I'm going to show you what to do, and then after we're done, you get to play with your shears carefully because they're sharp. Okay. So before I show you how to do all these things for your dog for your dog grooming shears, I want you to look at an image with me. We're going to review the anatomy of a shear together so that you have a better understanding of the parts that make up your dog grooming shear. So that as I'm talking about the parts and referring to the shank of the shear or the dynamic blade, you're going to know what it is. So let's review that image together and get you right up to speed when it comes to the anatomy of dog grooming shears. This is a dog grooming shear right here. You can see we have a finger rest, we have a bumper. I want you to pay close attention to the bumper. See that on the bottom right? Okay, we're going to kind of refer to that when we are testing our shears for adjustment. The static blade is the top blade. The dynamic blade is the bottom blade. Okay, I want you to remember that. I'll be referring to the static blade, top blade, and the dynamic blade. We're going to talk about the adjuster screw, and we're going to talk about the ride area. Specifically those things today we're going to be talking about when we're learning how to care for these shears. And now that you see the parts of the shear, and I will post this up on the community tab for you guys when I'm done so you can refer to it, okay? If you ever say, well, what was she talking about? I'll post it for you, okay? So I'll post it on my community tab on my YouTube channel after the live stream tonight for your reference. And now that we understand the parts of the shear, let's get to it. You ready? So we're going to start with cleaning your shear. I tell you what I'm going to do right now, guys. I'm going to put you on full screen so you can see better. I think that would be doing you a good service, right? So let me do that. Hopefully you can still hear me. Everything looks good. The sound looks good. Looks like we are not freezing up today. Before I show you this, guys, I want to remind you that I am making an extensive video that should be up this week, probably either Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, following this live stream, that is up close and personal, all the things that I'm showing you. I am going to show you up close today, but it's kind of hard on a live stream. I'll do my best. I'll do my best. I have a video that I'm working on. It's almost finished, that is going over all these things. Okay, so you're going to have that later this week, and that's a great reference video. So you'll have that. Keep an eye out for it. You should get a notification if you're subscribed to the channel, and you'll see when it's out. So let's get started with our shears, playing with shears. Whoever says that. So we're going to start with cleaning. I want to front load the idea for you guys that the things that we do for our shears are important to do them in this order. Clean them first, oil them second, and adjust them thirdly. And the last thing we do after we've cleaned, oiled, and adjust our shears is we're going to test them to see if they're sharp. I don't want you to test your shears to see if they're sharp before you do those things, because those things may be causing your shear to not cut properly. So that's why I broke it down in order for you. So don't forget that. Everything I refer to in this video is also linked for you in the description below. If I talk about Andis Cool Care, it's in the description below. If I talk about scissor oil, it's in the description below. If I talk about this, I'll tell you what that is in a minute. It's in the description below. So it doesn't matter what I'm talking about. It's in the description below, because I don't want you to have to scurry around looking for the things that you need to properly take care of your shears. So before we can test these shears for sharpness, we know we have to clean them, right? I prefer to use microfiber towels. They're linked in the description below. Cheap, effective little towels, great for cleaning too, but great for cleaning our shears. So I prefer to use microfiber towels to clean my dog grooming shears, and they are linked in the description below if you don't have any, cheap ones. So what you want to do, the first thing you want to do is, try to do this live. Okay, we got our microfiber towel. We're going to need a product called Andis Cool Care. I just happen to have some. So this is Andis Cool Care. It is what's called a 5-in-1 care for your blades and your shears. It is a coolant, it's a disinfectant, it's a lubricant, it cleans, and it's also a rust preventative. Those things really come in handy for your clipper blades too, which we talked about last week, and that live stream went completely south. So I uploaded the video for you of showing you exactly what I was trying to show you last week in the live stream. So if you haven't seen that about how to check your clipper blades, see if they're sharp, clean, adjust, whatever you need to do for your clipper blades. That is a video that is up on my channel, so be sure to go check that out. But now you just stay put, you stay right here. So we need Andis Cool Care. And a lot of you are saying, because you've been with me for a while, hey, is that really, that doesn't look like the Andis Cool Care that I have. What do you mean, this one? Occasionally brands change their look of things. I don't know what's going on in that city behind me, but we're just going to leave it there. So this has been changed to this, and sometimes it'll be changed back to this, depending on who's distributing it. Both of those are Andis Cool Care. They just have a different look. So the first thing you want to do when we're cleaning our shears is you need to open it up, lay it on your microfiber towel. This is going to be hard to do showing you. I want you to spray the blades with your Andis Cool Care, top and bottom. This is very hard to do live. I want you to flip it over. I want you to do the same thing on the other side. Now I want you to let this sit for at least 30 seconds, possibly a minute, okay? While we're letting this sit, I want to remind you never to run your finger along the inside of these blades. They are extremely sharp and you'll really slice your finger. Don't ever, even with a microfiber towel, don't touch the cutting edge of the blade. It is so sharp. Okay, it's been 30 seconds. So after we do that, we take this microfiber towel, these are great, and we're going to wipe along. Do you see how I'm doing that? This way. Don't run your fingers along that sharp edge. And we're going to wipe it. What we're trying to do is remove any buildup, hair, clippings, goobers, grime from the coat, oils from the dog's coat. It will collect on your shear. So we need to clean them, and I clean my shears after every use, every time, every use, okay? Easy, just like I'm showing you with the Andis Cool Care. Always clean them up, because that little boogers and little things that get stuck to your shears can actually cause your shears to, can put a little notch in there, and it can want to grab onto the blade improperly and kind of put a little imperfection in the blade. So we don't want that. That can cause your shears not to work properly. So now that we've cleaned them, and that's it, clean our swords properly, now they're ready for the next step. So the next step is definitely to oil this shear, okay? Before we try to adjust it, we need to oil it. So again, always be careful of those blades. They're very hot, or very hot. Your clipper blades can get hot, but your shears are very sharp. So when we oil them, guys, I think it's a good idea to mention that I have linked clipper oil, scissor oil. I'm still stuck on clippers from last week. Scissor oil in the description below. You're definitely going to need this. It's made specifically for scissors. Now, Joy-Z does make a brand of oil that you can use with your clipper blades or your scissors. But it's important to use scissor oil for your shears because it is made for shears, synthetically made for shears, and it dissipates. So it will evaporate eventually, but we're going to wipe them clean. Now, when you buy a set of Kenchi shears, like this is my sapphire shear, you will have in here, they always send you a little thing of scissor oil. So a lot of you may not realize it, but you already have scissor oil, so go get it. Okay? If you have my shears, you definitely have scissor oil because Kenchi and I tried to pack everything together that you're going to need when you get your shears. So what we're going to do is you're going to open this little guy up. I'm going to try to do this live for you without wrecking my computer or this live stream. And I want you to open your shear up like this, okay? Open it up like that. We're looking to play around right now with the ride action, which is this. This is the ride action of our shear. The ride action means where the static and dynamic blade meet. That's where they ride. So what I want you to do is put 1 drop of shear oil, 1 drop right here, and one drop right here. Come on out of there. Just like that. That's it. Now what I want you to do is move your shear. So give it some action, you know. Move that shear. We're trying to work that oil in the ride area of this shear, okay? So give it some action. Just move it around. It's a good time to practice your scissor work, right? Practice holding your shear properly, putting your finger in the pinky rest, and using your thumb only to operate the shear. This is the dynamic part of the blade, the part that moves. All right, so after we've done that, we need to wipe that oil off. So I want you to open those shears up again. Be very careful. And use your microfiber towel, and we're going to wipe right there on both sides where we just applied that oil, right in here. So it's right here, here, and here, okay? That's going to get a little gummed up with oil. So you want to remove the excess. And then go ahead and, if any is on your blade, just wipe it clean. Just don't touch the sharp edge. Okay, so now our scissor, our shear is cleaned and oiled, right? Okay, so we're halfway there, all right? And that's all there is to it. It's cleaned and oiled. But there's one thing left to do before we test our shear to see if it's sharp or if it needs sharpened. We need to see if it needs adjusted. And this is important. All right, so this is called an adjuster screw right here. Now, Kenchi is very good about, on the majority of all their shears, they have what's called a tension dial, that this moves, it clicks. Can you guys hear it? Anyway, it clicks. So if you click it to the left, it loosens the tension on the shear. If you click it to the right, it tightens the tension on these two blades. Okay, that's very important to note. How do we know if it needs to be adjusted? Well, I want you to hold the top blade. Actually, this is the bottom blade. I want you to open it up and let it fall. Did you see? This top blade is smacking all the way down on what's called the bumper. We don't want that to happen. That's too loose, okay? I can't help myself. I guess it's been a long day. That is too loose. It's smacking down on the bumper. So what do we do? Well, let's go. We need it tightened, so we're going to move our tension dial. It's pretty loose. 2 clicks to the right. Okay, let's check it. Still smacking down. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. Loose is loosening, right is tight. Let's go 2 more to the right because that is really loose. I actually loosened it up on purpose so I could show you. Okay, so I know that it's loose. It's still smacking down. 2 more clicks to the right. Still smacking down. It's not Friday Night Smackdown. Let's get this shear right. 2 more clicks to the right. Give it a little tap. Oh, it's a little, now there we go. Still too loose. 2 more to the right. Ah, you see it stopped about 1/8 of an inch from smacking the bumper? Yeah, no, it's pretty close. Let's give it another 2. See what happens. Oh, getting tighter, right? So it's stopping on its own. It's the tension on both of these blades, and it does matter. Okay, so here again. Pretty nice. It's still pretty loose though. Ah, it's pretty good. Stopping right before it smacks against the bumper. We're going to call that good. We adjusted it. That's where it needs to be. That's the right, there needs to be a right amount of tension on these 2 blades for them to behave properly for you. So it's cleaned, it's oiled, and it's adjusted. Let's check it one more time. It's kind of fun, isn't it? You guys are going to have fun with that. I could go 1 more click to the right. And some people like their shears very loose. Some people like them very tight. I like mine just right, kind of like Goldilocks. Maybe it's the hair. Okay, so that's perfect. Okay, I like it. I'm very happy with it, and I'm very happy to say to you guys that this is a well-adjusted shear. So we've already oiled. Let me just check my notes. I don't want to forget to tell you anything. We talked about the tension dial that allows for easy adjustment for your shear. There is another tool. Some people have a shear, you will notice, that has a screw here and no tension dial. If that's the case, there is a tool, a special tool that I linked for you in the description below that fits pretty much every shear. It has all different size notches in it, and it's a circular tool. It's very inexpensive. I think it's $10 or $11 on Amazon, and once you have it forever, and you just want to keep it in a safe place. But there is a tool if you don't have a tension dial and you have a tension screw here. So it just looks like a screw. Don't use screwdrivers, please. You'll mess them up. You mess up your shears. But that tool is to help you adjust the tension of these two blades, and it's made for shears. So I linked that for you in case you need it. The same rules apply. If you're using the tool to adjust your shears versus a tension screw, you turn to the left to loosen it. You turn to the right to tighten it up, okay? And when I designed my sapphire shears with Kenshi, I wanted to make sure that we put a tension dial on the shears for you. It makes it easier, setting you up for automatic success when adjusting the tension of your shears. And it's something that we have to do periodically. You may not have known that, or you might have. And this goes for our blending shears too, guys. There's a tension dial. So let's take a look at this blending shear. He's pretty tight, right? Let's loosen it up. Which way do we go to loosen it? Let's go 2 clicks to the left, right, to the left. It's still a little tight. And I do like my blending shears a little tighter, but not too tight because the teeth will grind on the blade. 2 more to the left. It's pretty tight. Let's loosen him up. I want to see what it looks like when it's loose. Oh boy, see? Loose, loosey-goosey. Let's tighten it up a bit to the right, to the left, too loose, to the right, too loose, to the right. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I like it. So it's the same with our blending shears, guys. They have a tension dial. It's easy to do. If they don't, they have a screw. You just need that tool, and I've linked it below for you, and you adjust it either lefty-loosey to loosen it, righty-tighty to tighten the tension. So back to adjusting the shear. If 1 click to the left isn't enough to allow the blade to stop before hitting the bumper, this is the bumper, which is the bottom of the blade, then give it another click to the left. So I think we've established that pretty well. You don't want the blade smacking against the bumper. It kind of whacks out your blade if it's too loose. So you don't want it too loose. You don't want it constantly smacking down like that because the tension on the blades is too loose, which is not going to cut the best for you. So you're going to need to tighten that tension to compensate if it's too loose. So now it's time to see if our shear needs to be sharpened. This is where stuff gets fun. This is where we start cutting stuff, okay? Carefully. All right, how do we test your shear to see if it needs to be sharpened? This is an important reminder. Only test your shear for sharpness after you have, come on guys, help me out, cleaned, oiled, and adjusted your shear. Now we can test it to see if it needs to be sharpened. So we're going to use a piece of toilet paper or a thin piece of tissue. That's what we're going to need. We're going to lay the bottom of the blade to the shank of the shear, and we're going to close the shear to cut the tissue and see if it makes a complete cut. Are you ready? So I'm going to lay this toilet paper right all the way to the, see it's in there, to the action part of the scissor. I'm going to lay it in there. I'm going to lay it across there. So I want to see if it's sharp from here, from the action all the way to the tip. Ooh, it didn't want to cut so well. Now look, it only cut that far. You see that? It didn't finish cutting. So let's give it another test. Already I'm getting a little concerned with this shear. Maybe it needs to be sharpened, all right? So let's try that again. It's very hard for me to do up in the air. That's why I can't wait to release that video so you guys can really see. It does seem to be sharp to the tip. You shouldn't have to force your shear and put a lot of pressure on it. Your shear should just naturally and easily cut that tissue. And this one does need a little help. See, it does need sharpened. Let me show you my curved shear. This one I'm pretty confident is pretty sharp. So on my curved shear, you test your blending shears the same way. On my curved shear, let's lay this guy in there. Yeah, he cut all the way to the tip pretty nice and easy. So I can feel confident that this guy is sharp. But my straight shear is leading me to believe that it may need sharpened, and that's not a big deal. That's very normal to send your shears for sharpening. I send shears for sharpening all the time. All shears are going to need to be sharpened at some point, so just make note of, I did link sharpening services for you in the description below where you can send your shears to be sharpened, and they'll get them back to factory for sharpness. That's what you want. Failing to sharpen a dull shear will put you and the dog that you're trimming at risk of injury when you're using the shears. So using dull shears is not a good thing. It's also going to cause you to work really hard to work that shear, which means that you're less accurate in your scissor work. If you're working more hard to make the shear work versus just you moving the shear so it can do the work for you. It is normal to buy a pair of shears and have them your whole life. But periodically you're going to need to send them for sharpening. That is an absolute fact, guys. So don't think you'll buy a pair of shears no matter how well you take care of them and they're never going to go dull. Dog grooming shears get slightly dulled down from use, just like any shear or anything sharp, right? As it's being used, it's slowly going to get dulled down from using it. Using a shear on a dirty or a matted coat is going to dull a shear faster than working with a clean, properly prepared coat. So it is important for me to note that. What dulls your shear is how you use them too. Whether you're not cleaning, oiling, and adjusting them regularly, or if you're using them on thick, heavy coats or dirty coats, those are all variables of things that are going to dull down your shears prematurely. Okay, because they are going to dull down a little bit from use. So clean them first, oil the shear, and adjust them before determining if they need to be sent for sharpening. Do this often and prolong the functionality of your dog grooming shears. So everything I just showed you in those 3 steps today, clean, oil, and adjust, do that often. And check your shears. Check your shears if you're only grooming your own dog. You can check them before every use. So you've cleaned, oiled, and adjusted them before you put them away. You get them back out for the next time you're going to use them. Check them and see if they are sharp, you know, so you know before you start working with your dog. This is another good tip I'm going to share with you, how to store your shears. This is important. It's very important to store your shears in the specific case made for the shears or in the box that they came from. So there are cases made for shears. That one has a little bit of hair on it. These are leather cases. As you can see, I can slide this shear down in there. I can slide this shear in there. Fold this over and I can close it. They're not touching metal. That's important. That's very important. I like to keep the box that my shears come in. Let me show you. It's perfect for storing your shears. I like to keep the box that my shears come in because it's for this very reason, to keep them safe and protected. It's also the box that you're going to use when your shear needs to be sent out for sharpening. So these boxes are great to keep. Keep them in a safe place because when we need to send them for sharpening, we're going to talk about that. They're already protected in here in the box. Okay, now I just need to bubble wrap it, put it in a a proper shipping box or a padded bag. There's all different ways you can ship out your shears. And it's protected. It's protected for the ride, right? Now these cases are super awesome too. Sometimes if I'm sending 2 or 3 pair of shears, I have another case that holds 5 shears. I'll put them in the case and I'll fasten it all up and I will send it out like that. I will still bubble wrap this, but they're protected. They're protected for shipping. You cannot sharpen your shears yourself. Please don't ever do that. You're just gonna ruin them, okay? You have to send them to a professional sharpening service that specializes in dog grooming shears especially. Kenchi is by far my favorite. I have linked them below. I also linked Whitman's. Kenchi is by far my favorite. I am never disappointed when I get my shears back from Kenchi. They have the right equipment. They have the right knowledge. Definitely state-of-the-art equipment to sharpen your shears and preserve them back to factory. It's important. I don't work for Kenchi, so I'm just telling you, I love Kenchi. You know I do. I have for a long time. So it's very important to store your shears when you're not using them in the box. If you keep the box of shears come in, you can use them to send them out for sharpening too. Avoid allowing your shears to touch when you're not using them. So don't just lay them on top of each other in a drawer or in a box, guys. That is not good. Avoid allowing your shears to lay on top of each other or to touch when you're not using them. Overlapping your shears they can bang against each other. Let's get this guy out. It's one of my favorite shears. I love my curved shear. So they can bang against each other. It definitely will affect the way they perform when you get them out when it's show time. This can affect the alignment of the shears, the blades. So make sure that they're not touching each other. That's my rule of thumb. Just don't even let them touch each other. No touchy other shears. Keep your hands off other shears. Not nice. Don't touch. Don't do it. Don't let them touch, okay? Tell your shears. You tell them. You're the boss. Don't let them touch. It will definitely affect them. Store them in the box they came in. That's a great tip. If you don't have a box, you can get these little leather cases, and I did link a really nice affordable one in the description below for you guys. I really like that one too. So now let me show you how to send them to Kenchi if they need sharpened. So we determined that my straight shear, it's questionable. And if it's questionable, I'm going to send it out for sharpening, definitely. So when it's time for your shear to be sharpened, put it back in the box it came in or in a leather sleeve or in the case to protect it during shipping. First thing, okay? I sometimes pack them in those leather cases if I have multiple shears to send out, and that's fine. What you're going to do is you're going to go to kenchi.com. I actually have a link to this for you in the description below, so you just have to click on the link. Because when you go to kenchi.com, there is a tab that says service and recycling or servicing and recycling. That's where you're going to find a form that you need to print and fill out for sharpening. Okay, I printed this out and made all kinds of notes on it. So the instructions are very clear on this form. If you click on the link down below where I have the form, it'll take you right to the PDF and you can just print it out, okay? Right from their website. And these are very clear and concise instructions on sharpening request order forms, what you need to do. Take your time and fill it out, the appropriate work that you need done for the shear or your shears. You're going to package your shears as directed on this form. There's a place for instructions right here. Perfect. Kenchi offers free shipping if you're sharpening a shear, you know, couple shears, or you may even have a repair. Sometimes you can replace, you can have them replace things like the adjustment knob. If you don't have a tension knob on your shear, I believe they might be able to add it if you have only the screw type. You can see if it's one of their shears. Let me look here, guys. The tang screw, which is this, the tang and the screw is free, and the bumper is free if it needs replaced. So this is your bumper. Remember the image I showed you? This is your bumper. This is the tang screw. If it needs replaced, they will do it for free. It says it right on here. If it's a Kenchi shear. And I know most of you have my sapphire shears and you love them as much as I do. So you're good to go. Also on here is specific instructions. Okay, so it says dog grooming shears, and this you can print out, okay? You can just print it out to look at it too, or pull it up on the screen. They charge you $25 per shear to sharpen. So that is just a very competitive rate. That's pretty much what everybody charges. So, you know, not here nor there, but Kenchi will do a good job for you, and I guarantee that. So if you have 2 shears, you're at 50 bucks, okay? I put down 3 just to give you an idea, and that takes me right away to 75 is my total so far. Do I need them to do anything else? I'll say, yeah, go ahead and replace a bumper on there, 2 bucks, okay? And then I go down here and I see for shipping, you'll see here on this part of the order, it tells you if you need to add shipping cost into your bill, because you're going to send this, fold it up and send it along with your shears. This is your work order for Kenchi, okay? So it says here, orders under $100 are $10.50. So you will need to add that to the payment. Orders over 100 is free shipping, and that makes sense. Shipping's not cheap these days. So these things are what you're going to total up for a grand total of what it's going to cost you when you send your shear or shears out to be repaired or sharpened to Kenchi. So I would write either a check. Kenchi accepts checks, they accept money orders, they accept cashier checks, and of course credit card information, which you can put right here on the form, whichever way you want to do it. And I would make, this would be my total. I would write a check for that, staple it here to the work order, fold this up, put it in with my shears, bubble wrap my shears, put them in a flat type box, or you can get those shipping bags that are padded. If you're already sending them out in the box, enclosed and bubble wrapped like this, and then bubble wrapped, they're pretty secure. So as directed on the order form, you can choose those 3 different payment options: check, money order, cashier's check, or credit card. Be certain to properly fill out this information and include the shipping cost if needed. It's important. Pack your sharpening order form with your shears to ship to the address on the order form. It's all on the order form right here. This is where you're sending them. So it's all in one form. It's easy. It's just the way to go. Be sure that you securely package these guys for the trip to Kenchi, because that's all the way to Georgia. And I'm in Pennsylvania, so it's a little bit of a trip, but it probably only takes my shears 2 days to get to Georgia. On the sharpening and service page of Kenchi's website, they do give you an estimate of time. This is important. So if you go to their website and go under sharpening services, before you can download the form, it's at the bottom. It tells you an estimate of the time that it's going to take before they will return the shears back to you, because they only have a couple guys, I believe, that do this. I mean, it's a skill that sharpen these shears. And if they've got an abundance of shears, they're just sharpening, you know, they're have to take it first come, first serve according to when you got your order in. But the nice thing about Kenchi's website is they do have an estimated time frame as to when you can expect to have them returned back to you. It's usually 6 weeks. 4 weeks, 6 weeks is pretty normal. Right now, I believe it said 8. So don't let that scare you. Don't say, oh, then I'm not going to send them for sharpening. I always tell you guys to have a spare, a backup shear. So whether you have my sapphire shear, it doesn't mean you have to have 2 sets of my sapphire shear. It just means that you have to have another shear that's competent and capable of getting you through grooming for 6 weeks, preferably 2 more shears, because if you drop one, they're going to stop working. And then you have your backup. But it's normal to be without your shear anywhere from, I'd say normal is 4 to 8 weeks when you send it for sharpening, because you're sending it to somebody to perform an actual service on these shears. And they will come back wonderful for you. I'm always happy with that. Sometimes people drop their shears accidentally, or a dog kicks them off the table when you're working. That happens. you'll know the first thing you do is you pick your shear up, and you want to see if gently, if it's catching. You would know it if the blades are catching. They're going to scrape against each other. If they are, stop. Don't move the blades anymore. And I linked a video in the description below of Sammy showing you what to do. It's easier for him to show you. Sammy is Kenchi Shears. So he made a video showing you how to kind of adjust these a little bit before you consider them to be in need of repairs. So that video is linked for you below, guys, and that's an interesting video to watch. It happens to all of us that as we're working, we'll accidentally go to pick up our shear and we'll knock it off the table, or a dog does a quick jump and his foot slides your shear off the table. It's happened to all of us, and it will happen to you if it hasn't. It will happen, and it'll be a slow motion thing. No, you look for your shear and they're on the ground. It's just with every blow, right? Don't sweat it. They probably can be fixed, but you probably won't want to mess around with them yourself, other than how to watch the video that I linked below. That's going to tell you if there is something you can do. It's in that video. Otherwise, you got to send it to them, and they can usually fix them. So that's on a good note, right? Yeah, so caring for these shears is very important, guys, and I never made a video for you really about just that. So I'm glad. I have all the things that I told you guys in this video and that video, but how would you know? And I have so many videos anymore, I don't even know what's in one video to the next. As far as those little cookies, I have a hard time keeping track anymore either. So I am working on a complete video, up close and personal, of everything I just showed you tonight. So that's coming for you this week, and I cannot wait. But now it's time to answer your questions. Any dog grooming questions, I'm here for you. I want you to press and hold the dash bar on your keyboard. So you create a little line, type your question. I'll look in here into the chat and see what I can do to get you some answers. So let's go back to the screen so we can see you guys too. I feel naked when I'm on the screen without you. It just doesn't feel right to me, right? So let me just scroll up here and see. I see we do have a couple questions already, and I love that. That's why we get together, guys. It's one of the big benefits of me going live with you, is to get in front of you and to kind of personally answer your questions. Everybody's situation is different. Whether they only groom one dog, or they're a pet groomer, or they want to learn to groom, or whatever. Everybody has a different situation. So let me use my spectacles because I can't see very well. I need new glasses. These are turning out to not be strong enough for me anymore. Okay. Just scrolling up. I don't want to miss anything for you guys. Okay. And Janelle, thank you. Janelle's reminding people, showing them what it looks like for you to ask your question, to hold that dash bar down so I'll be able to see it. All right. Now, I saw a question here. If you have a question, go ahead and get typing, guys, because I'm going to be answering them. If I don't see any more questions, I'm going to give you my spiel of what's coming next live from the grooming table for you, and what we're talking about in the next member Zoom session. Oh, look at all of you tonight. I'm so glad to see you guys. Thank you. Wow, Uncle Sam's niece, court jester. Look at all you. Ashley Hoots, hello. That girl is so busy and she came to see me. Heidi, SVCC Toy Schnauzers, that's my friend Sean, Jenny Sutherland, rocking the house. Janelle, my court jester. Oh, I love you guys so much. Thank you. I am so glad to see you guys. Every now and then I can't help myself and I gotta just talk to you. I know we get busy here in our live streams, but it's you guys that make it worthwhile. So let me get a question here. I think Barb had one. Yes, Barb has one. What is the typical turnaround time for them? That's a good question. You probably answered that right before I answered it. Typical turnaround, Barb, for your shears, sending them out for sharpening, is between 4 to 8 weeks. And that's typical no matter who you use. I have actually sent my shears before there were other companies that I've used in the past that I waited 2 months or more, 3 months to get them back, where I was scared. I was calling and I'm thinking, I hope my shears weren't lost in the mail. And it is definitely a good idea, guys, to get a delivery confirmation on these when you send them out. You're sending 3 or 4 pairs of shears out, you know, you've got hundreds of dollars worth of shears that are in the mail. And we all know these days, weird things happen to stuff in the mail. Weird. So we don't want weird things happening to our shears. So cover your bases. You can also get, you know, the insurance that the post office, the postal service offers for, you know, $5 or something. It's kind of worth it. These are your shears. You want them back. And as I said before, they'll last you a lifetime. Periodically, you're going to have to send them to be sharpened. So Barb, that answers that question. It's a great question. I'm sure it's on everybody's mind. Debbie M, how you doing, Debbie M, says, how do you clean thinning shears or blending shears on the side of the teeth? The same as I showed you. The main thing that cleans them, Debbie M, is letting that Cool Care bake off. So there's a sit time, okay? So when I spray, let me get here again. Let me get up here for you. When I spray these again, let it sit. Don't wipe it. Let it sit for a little bit. Let it bake off, okay? We're gonna let that Andis Cool Care sit for 30 seconds to a minute, maybe a little bit longer. It does dissipate. It will evaporate eventually. And then I usually come up like this. I don't want to come down near that blade. It's sharp. So I will go up like this and rub those teeth gently. Obviously this blade's easy to clean. But that's how I do it. It's important to clean them. They get buildup in there. Sometimes I'll take my forced air dryer on very low speed and blow out any clippings that might be stuck in there, hard to release, before I clean it. So you want to move up like this. Just don't touch the blade. But you have to clean them, you know. Be careful. Anything that you do can damage them if you're not careful. They're very delicate, just like your puppies, right? We're going to be careful. All right, good question, Debbie. I hope I helped you with that. 199 Bridge says, besides petals and tails, what shampoo and conditioner do you recommend for commercial use? I have a whole cabinet full of gallons of shampoos and conditioners that I love very much. Any shampoo or conditioner that you've seen me use on my YouTube channel is a winner. When it comes to a pet groomer who says, okay, I'm grooming multiple dogs, I've got to find a good all-around shampoo and conditioner. That's what I would do for years when I was grooming 5-6 dogs a day. That's normal. Find something affordable but effective. A lot of my go-tos were the Tropiclean products. They make good everyday pet grooming products. The Coat Handler you can get that. It's a specific product to Groomer's Choice. Coat Handler shampoo and conditioner is fantastic. One of my favorites. Very affordable, very effective. You can use it on any coat type. As a pet groomer, you can run with one shampoo and conditioner as long as it's gentle enough, but yet effective enough. So the Coat Handler's one that I love very much. I was just putting all my gallons away today in my new cabinets that you guys are going to see next week. I have so many gallons of shampoo and conditioner. I love the iGroom stuff too. It can get to be a little pricey, but don't forget, all shampoos are dilutable, shampoo and conditioners. Be certain that you are diluting your shampoo or conditioner, or you're wasting it, or possibly it's going to end up being a little too harsh on the skin of a dog if it's meant to be diluted. So I have other videos about diluting your shampoos and conditioner, guys. That's important to do that. Frothing, remember we did the frothing? That was awesome, and it's a way to save product and save money on your conditioners, your shampoos, and all those things. So that's a great question. The Petals and Tails, I know, is a little pricey. It has other healing powers. Not everybody needs it. As far as pet groomers go, they may not want to add that into the cost of the groom. So they may say, okay, what else can I use? Coat Handler is a good one. I love that one, very much so. The Bark to Basics Plum Silky. No, that's a Nature Specialty. Nature Specialty products are wonderful too. I have so many. So I don't only say I recommend this or this. I recommend a lot of different products. If I'm talking about it in my videos, then I love it, have used it, and would recommend it to you. And I try to use different products in my dog grooming videos so you can see a variety. But I also only use products that I know I like. So you can rest assured. The Petology line, which is another one from Groomer's Choice, that is a great, affordable, effective line of shampoos and conditioners. It's called Petology. So there are many, there really are. SVCC Toy Schnauzer says, do you know how much I appreciate and love you? Sean, I can't hear it enough. It makes me happy. Thank you. I was able to groom Honeybee in a teddy bear style, and I am so happy. I saw that today, and you did a wonderful job. Thank you. She says, Sean, you are so welcome. This is why we do what we do. This is why we get together. So you are so welcome. You keep rocking it. Remember, guys, if you're just getting started grooming your own dog or a couple dogs, it's going to take you a while to get comfortable with your, what you're doing, comfortable with the clippers. You're going to learn with every groom, and you're going to improve with every groom. I tell you that all the time. It's very true because I watched it happen to me. It happens. As you do something, you get better. It's experience. Following the same steps of a groom is a good idea, guys. That's one thing that I can't impress upon you enough. I have my free 11 steps to groom any dog that's on my website, link below, where it says sign up for the newsletter. That's where I have all my free and paid digital downloads. And I also have that complete guide, which is amazing. That's $9.99. That's, was it 8-page PDF or something? It's fantastic. I wish I would have had that when I was starting grooming as just a easy, quick reference when I'm grooming. Justin says, can you recommend a brush for a Bichon toy poodle? I'm a pet groomer and I can't find any through, I can't get any through him fully. Okay, the Artero so far is the best. I was going to recommend that. I love the Artero. Don't forget that it has a different firmness on each side. One side is more for dematting or stiffer coat types. The other one is a little more forgiving, a little more flex for just your everyday work. That Artero brush is wonderful. I love the Le Pouche brushes. I know they can be expensive, and Actibet brushes. For a poodle style Bichon coat type, Le Pouche makes a gold brush that's for a softer coat like that's a soft coat. Not soft and limp, it's just soft. That brush is amazing, the way it grabs into the coat. It's worth it. If you're a pet groomer, that brush is going to last you decades if you take care of it. It is a good brush. That's the thing about paying $65 for a Le Pouche or an Actibet brush. The bristles are not going to go cattywampus on you within 2 weeks. They're made better, and that's why you pay more for it. Chris Christensen has a really nice slicker brush. I have it. It's not handy at the moment. It has a little bit of longer bristles on it, so it really sinks in and pulls out the coat real nice. It's a pink one. I think it's the coral brush. I think it's the coral. I think I have that linked in my Amazon store that's linked in the description, where I have a category for brushes. So there's a lot of cool brushes you can sort through in there, Justin. If you go to my Amazon store, which I'm not an Amazon seller, I'm just an affiliate. So I went and gathered products that I like from other stores and put them in one storefront, which is mine. And those are products that I suggest. There's a tab there for brushes, combs, clippers, you name it. It's all there. So go check that out. Deborah Rose says, what's a good ear cleaner for after the bath? My favorite ear cleaner, Rose, after the bath, Deborah Rose, has always been the Bark to Basics ear cleaner. It has witch hazel instead of alcohol in it. It's very soothing. It's not as drying as some of the other products, and I really love it. Tropiclean has a really nice ear cleaner. I think it has tea tree oil in it. That's a good one too. So either one of those is a very good choice for you, and I can highly recommend it. Jenny says, how to know when the blade drive in a clipper needs changing and how do you do it? Maybe a video suggestion. Jenny, I don't know where you've been. I just did it 2 weeks ago. Just did a video, very extensive video on YouTube showing you exactly how to check what it sounds like if your blade drive is going bad and how to change it right there in the video. So go check it out, Jenny. It's very helpful. Hopefully that'll probably solve your problems right there. Lois says, I agree, each grooming session brings a little progress with my Shih Tzu Squirt. Like little Gus, doing her feet nails is difficult. She is also a little head shy when I trim around her face. Hints. Take it slow when you're trimming around the face. If you can use the 5-in-1 clippers, or maybe you already have one, Lois, a 5-in-1 clipper. The 5-in-1 clippers tend to vibrate a lot less and they tend to be a little more quiet. And dogs that are hand shy or just afraid of noises or vibration around the face tend to tolerate the 5-in-1 clippers more. You will definitely need the guard comb attachments on it to leave length. So depending on what clipper you have. Another thing is your state of mind for sure. You already know that she's going to be a little frightened of work around her face. So try to get yourself in a good headspace that you're not anticipating it for her. You already know she's going to. So try to get yourself in a good headspace and set a calm place for both of you already and your mental status. Another thing is just talking dogs through things. Sometimes it's our voice. If we talk like I'm talking to you right now, I'm not getting too excitable. I'm just talking with you guys. If you talk to a dog like this and you're just calm, you're not babying them, but it can be a little distracting. They listen to your voice a little more. Yes, that's good. You go to touch her, and if she doesn't flinch, keep going. Or if she flinches a little, keep going. And as she does this, yeah, distract her. Good girl, that's right. You gotta almost just really work really hard for those dogs because it will always be a challenge for them. If they're afraid of certain things, they often will get a little more tolerant, but it's always right there at the surface for them. They're ready to twitch. They're ready to do that because that's just the way they feel about it. So, good question. Deborah says, can I sharpen my blades and scissors myself? Nope, as I already said that in the video. If so, what's the method? Well, if so, I guess I wouldn't be sending my stuff to Kinchy now, would I? I would be sitting here showing you how to sharpen your shears, but I'm not qualified to do that. And if I sharpened these shears, I would ruin them. So $120 pair of shears down the drain. Why would I do that? No, unfortunately, honey, if there was a way, I would be showing you. Trust me. But there are certain tools, there are certain methods that they use that cost money that you need to have to properly sharpen these tools. Now, my shears have what's called a serrated edge on them. If you sharpen this, you're just going to totally take that serrated edge off, and it's never going to perform the way it's supposed to. So no, that is not how it works, Deborah. You cannot do it yourself. I'm sorry, but you can't. Just trying to be real. So Lois says, thanks, Amy. I have a 5-in-1. Okay, great. Try that, and I'll try to go with that calm praise for her every time she lets me do it. It's tough. There's always dogs some dogs are just very aware of everything, their surroundings. Like our little Ellie Grace, although she is a complete angel for grooming. She enjoys it. She's proud of herself. She falls asleep while I'm grooming her. She's a little party schnauzer. We got her from Sean, SVCC Toy Schnauzers. She's awesome. And her mother, Grace, we have her now too, and she's beautiful. So, but some dogs are so aware of their surroundings. Sean, I think you can probably attest to that. Some schnauzers can be that way. So in other words, if there's a fly on the wall, it's going to distract your dog. Some dogs will be like, I don't care about that fly on the wall. And some dogs will be like, what's that fly on the wall doing? It's just the personality of different dogs. So you always have to kind of be aware of the flinch factor. That should be a real thing. The flinch factor of the dogs you're working with. Does my dog flinch easily if I accidentally bang the table as I'm working? Is that going to throw my dog off? And I'm sitting here with a shear or clipping a nail? So know the flinch factor of your dog and always keep it in mind when you're working with them. But yeah, the calm praise helps sometimes distract them a little bit. Sean says from SVCC Toy Schnauzers, what do you think of white and black, or black from Chris Christensen? Oh, white on white or black. I think I've talked about this before, Sean, but I have so many videos. So here's what I think about whitening shampoos, guys. White on white, black on ice, or whatever it's called. I don't know. Blackening, the black shampoos are more for popping those black colors. I don't feel that it's that necessary for a dog's coat. I really don't. I feel that a good shampoo and conditioner, because shampoo and conditioner both do two different things. Shampoo cleanses and opens the follicle, rids it of dirt. Condition comes back and closes the follicle after the dirt's been removed. So right there, this is the process of proper shampooing and conditioning. Eliminates us having to have 40 different types of shampoos and conditioners. They do get expensive. Have I noticed that whitening shampoos whiten a white coat better? Thus far, no. And I've used some pretty pricey ones. I've used the Le Pouche whitening shampoo and I loved it. It was very nourishing. I loved it, but could I tell you that I felt like it whitened the coat better? I really don't feel like it did. So I have to be honest about that and say, well, maybe it's not necessary to have all those different shampoos and conditioners just sitting around waiting for that one moment when we're going to use it. And shampoo and conditioner do have a long lifespan on the shelf as long as you don't add water to them. They are already, concentrated in the gallon. So they have a long years worth of shelf life. So that's not an issue. But do you really want to stock all these shampoos? So what I would suggest to you, Sean, if there's one you're thinking of, why don't you go ahead and buy like an 8-ounce, a smaller bottle, and try it. You do have a lot of lighter colored dogs, so at least you know, hey, I think I would get my use out of it if I do like it. So then it would be worth purchasing. But for you to purchase a gallon of it, it may end up sitting. You may be going for another favorite more of the time than that one. And now you just hogging up space in your cabinets, So consider that. Heidi says, what shampoo would you suggest for curly coats? It's not really, I know that our manufacturers of shampoos and conditioners really make us feel like we have to align a shampoo and conditioner with every coat type down to a shedding coat type. Not true. I can de-shed any dog with Petals and Tails shampoo and Petals and Tails conditioner. I can de-shed any dog with a Bark to Basics product as well, as long as it's a good product and I've already tested it. It's a brand thing. For them to have multiple types of shampoos and conditioners is really just sealing the deal that they're probably going to sell you something then, right? Because something has to align with what you're looking for. And I just don't blame them for it. And I know that their products are good. They are good. But you don't have to have a specific product for a smooth coat, for a curly coat. There are some very moisturizing shampoos and conditioners that will work better on those coat types. So you can consider it. But for a curly coat, curly coats tend to be dense coats. I definitely like to condition them very well. It's very important to help me get through the brush out and keep them brushed out longer. So I would say you want something moisturizing for sure. I really do like a lot of the iGroom products too. There's the Squalane. I used that for a while. I like to use that even for de-shedding dogs, for the drop coated dogs. But all the products, they work great. They really do. As long as you shampoo and condition. Very important. Don't just shampoo, because you're leaving the cuticle open so it can collect more dirt. You want to close that cuticle with a nourishing conditioner, the nourishment of condition. So hopefully, Heidi, that helps you. Don't stress over what to use on a curly coat because it really isn't going to make a difference. Shampoo and condition. Any of the shampoos I recommend are great. I really love a lot of the Nature Specialty products too, especially that conditioner called Sun Guard. It's wonderful. You would love that on a curly coat. It isn't like you're, taking it to a show ring and you want a crisp, hard coat to stand up or anything like that, because you don't. You just want to be able to keep your dog brushed out longer and keep their coat well balanced in between bathes and brushing and all that stuff. So that's your main concern when we're talking about taking care of our pets. It's not, oh, I have a Bichon, he's a scissor coat, I want to use a clarifying shampoo, I want that coat to be as firm as possible. Unless you're in a grooming competition and you're going to be grooming that dog for competition or the show ring, that you don't have to worry about that. You don't. You just want it properly clean and balance out the skin and coat. But hey, I love your questions. Thank you guys for asking all these awesome questions. It is now time for me to make the last few announcements of our live stream. I answered most of the questions I could find. I hope I did. I want to remind everybody that I do have a free weekly dog grooming email newsletter. If you haven't signed up for it yet, please do. Every Friday at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, you're going to receive my free Go Groomer exclusive newsletter directly to your inbox from me to you with quick, fantastic dog grooming tips, always something new. Very helpful information. I've been getting positive feedback on that from you guys. So you're loving the newsletters, and I love making them. I really do. I love writing. They come packed with links. If I'm referring to a product, it'll be in the newsletter, a link for you to go visit the product, or a video. I'll link to a video saying, and this is exactly what I want to, when I'm showing you how to brush your dog, here, go watch this video. It's in the newsletter. So it's a great thing, guys, and it's free. So you got to sign up for it. There's a link for that in the description below. And also channel members. So if you see anybody in here with those special those badges, those icons after their names, like SVCC Toy Schnauzers, Lois, I see Janelle and Uncle Sam's niece, a court jester. I also saw Debbie M in here. I hope I don't forget any of my members. I'm just looking in the chat quickly. Those are my channel members. What is a channel member? A channel member gets exclusive content from me. So not only do you have access, I don't know if you guys notice too, with a lot of my live streams, after so long, you can't see them anymore unless you're a channel member. So I turn them off for members only so I can keep refreshing my YouTube channel with new content, okay? But all that content is valuable content. So a lot of those videos get turned on only for members. So I don't know if my members know that. You have access to a lot of videos that aren't just our lesson videos. Now, aside from the videos that my channel members get for $4.99 a month, my channel members are called my hounds. That's who they are. They're my hounds. We get together once a month and do a live Zoom session, a live learning Zoom session called Sheer Joy with Amy Lee and the Hounds. I have a very specific playlist on my channel with all of our lessons in order thus far that we've had, and there's been 21 of them. So there's 21 lessons there. If you join now as a channel member, you have access to go back and rewatch them. But not only do you get to watch those awesome learning sessions on different topics of dog grooming, each one of those lessons comes with its own PDF that is printable and downloadable, that is basically curriculum. That it's notes. You will print it out, put it in a notebook with pictures, with links, very nice stuff. So my channel members benefit from that. Our next channel, Sheer Joy with Amy Lee and the Hounds, our next learning session is scheduled for Sunday, March 3rd, just so you know, guys, and I always put a link on the community tab for my channel members to remember when we're getting together. It's at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's our monthly live Zoom learning session. The topic of that one is going to be the difference between blending shears and which one to use for various tasks when grooming dogs. Do you use a 7.5-inch shear with 52 teeth? Do you use a 6-inch shear with 30 teeth? How do you know? And what does all that mean? That's what that lesson is going to be about. And it is only for channel members. So if you're not a channel member, you're never going to know. If you're not a channel member and you would love to take advantage of that and take your dog grooming knowledge to a new level, there is a link in the description below where you can click on it and you can join at the channel membership level, which is a hound. You'll get a special badge behind your name in our live streams, and you'll also have access to all those learning sessions and a boatload of other videos. So it's wonderful. We love doing it. Channel members enjoy monthly live learning sessions. They receive exclusive content and free downloads with every learning session. It's great. Our next live from the grooming table, which is what we did tonight, this is open to anybody. This one's free. Our next live for the grooming table is scheduled for Monday, February 26th at 5:30 Eastern Standard Time. The topic is how to set up a safe dog grooming area and how I set up my new grooming salon. That's right. Hey, before I get in here, I'm going to say something. Alexa, set reminder for February 26th at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Go Groomer is live from the grooming table. How to set up a safe dog grooming area. Thanks, Alexa. See you then. So yes, guys, my new dog grooming salon and filming studio is finally complete, pretty much. I just did a really big cabinet wall with a granite cabinet countertop on it. All my stuff is going to be organized. There's going to be a method to the madness of how I set up all my tools, products in this shop. We still have some other equipment to set up in here, hubby and I, but it's all here. We've got it all here now. And you're going to finally get to see my grooming salon in the next live from the grooming table and why I set it up the way I did. I'm going to show you why it's important to carefully plan out your area before you spend the money to build something. There is a right and a wrong way to set up a grooming area, a grooming salon or a grooming room, you name it. So I'm going to share with you why and how I set mine up so it can help you have success at home. And maybe it's some things that you just may want to switch around a little, may give you some ideas. So during our next live from the grooming table, you're going to get to see my new dog grooming salon in the new house. It's awesome. So now in closing of this live stream, I'm going to leave you with the Farmer's Dog Super Bowl commercial that touched hearts of dog lovers all over the world. And it just dawned on me yesterday that if you feed your dog the Farmer's Dog, that is a Super Bowl of food. It's super good for them. If you feed them the Farmer's Dog, you're feeding them a Super Bowl of food. So get your tissues out. It's just reminding us why we love our dogs so much and what we can do. What can we do sometimes to help them live happier, healthier, more enjoyable lifespan, okay? What can we do to add value to our dogs? And I would love to give you a free 2-week trial of the Farmer's Dog food, fresh dog food. If you haven't taken advantage of that already, please let me offer you a free 2-week trial of the Farmer's Dog fresh food by clicking the link below. See if your dog likes it. A lot of dogs are very finicky with dog food and they love the Farmer's Dog. So that reason alone sometimes is a reason for people to consider the Farmer's Dog if they have a very picky eater. But the benefits truly are your consistent weight on your dog. Your dogs are never going to be overweight, obese, get diabetes, be more likely to get diabetes. They still could they could be predisposed to it genetically, but they're not going to develop diabetes from weight. A lot of other health problems that we find happening in dogs have been proven to be stemmed from their diet. So it's definitely the reason why it got me thinking what I put in my dog's belly, and I just want to pass that love on to you guys. So I can offer you a free trial of it if you want. The last thing I have to say about that, guys, is long live dogs. I love you. Thanks for showing up for me. Here's your Farmer's Dog, and I'll see you in 2 weeks, and you don't stop being awesome. Thank you, guys. Love you.
I'll always take care of you. Let's not do that again, okay?
Don't worry, darling, about the rest of our lives. Through thick and thin, I'll be there by your side. 'Cause when I see those big, beautiful eyes looking into mine, I wanna hold you forever.
To have and to be from this day forward.
You forever.
Come on, Bear.
Yes, I do now. Ooh.
I'm gonna love you forever.
Okay, Bear.
Forever.